Specialists are a unique addition to Black Ops 3, with each having two unique abilities. There's a weapon ability and a support ability. Now these are more or less support streaks like in Modern Warfare 3, Ghosts, and even Advanced Warfare, meaning that even if you die over and over, you'll eventually acquire the ability of your choosing. To balance this, you earn different abilities at different times. Of note, you can only select one ability per match, not both. It would appear that most people instantly go for the offensive abilities, and rightfully so, as they are much more impressive, fun to use, and more gory. However, they are not always in your best interest. While it is fun to implode people to bits with a bow and arrow or bombard an objective with a war machine, you have to remember that in order to gain the advantage on your enemies, you need to play tactically, and strategy is what I enjoy sharing. With that said, let's talk about Seraph. Her special weapon is the Annihilator. This is a massive high-caliber revolver that fires devastating rounds with increased bullet penetration. This is very fun to use, but pretty difficult to aim properly. However, when you do connect, it's very effective in eliminating the competition. But I'll cover this more in depth in another video. More importantly, her support ability is combat focus. While active, all score earned will trigger a bonus multiplier towards score streaks. In my opinion, this is the most powerful support ability out of all the specialists. When used correctly, that is. When used incorrectly, it will do little to nothing. So first up, how long does it take to acquire? I was fortunate enough to be placed in a private match scenario in the beta. No one was here in the lobby but myself and one other teammate, so I decided to time it. If you do absolutely nothing, no kills, no objective plays, nothing, it'll take approximately 2 minutes and 57 seconds to achieve. Chances are this is supposed to be 3 minutes and I mucked up somewhere though. Of course, for each assist, kill, objective taken, etc., it'll go up in increments. The bigger the accomplishment, the more it will go up. For instance, a kill will make it go up obviously more than getting a mere assist. So here's a typical scenario of how long it would take to obtain. Please note that this is with the overclock perk, which allows you to earn your specialist ability faster. So in this clip, I got 2 kills total, I shot down 1 counter UAV, and then I shot down 3 normal UAVs. I also got 2 25-point assists. And in between getting all those things, I also walked around a little bit, which also adds to your meter. So that's not much effort at all, to be honest, so I'd say this one is extremely easy to get. However, don't be overly concerned at the ease of attaining this. In a 9-minute game where I obtained a 2-to-1 KD ratio and with the overclock perk, I got this ability 3 times. So you could expect an average player only to get this about 2 to 3 times a match. And remember, once you earn it, you don't normally use it right away. So you could potentially only get 1 per match if you don't use it until the time is right. Compared to other support streaks, this one actually takes longer to achieve. For example, Prophet's glitch ability can be earned in as few as 3 kills. So once activated, the combat focus ability lasts for exactly 30 seconds on the dot. Of course, that's without receiving any kills, assists, score streak kills, etc. If you do achieve any of those things, the meter drastically drains faster. So the time left decreases by an amount proportional to how much score is received. For example, UAV assists only take a little away, whereas kills take a very large amount away. If it didn't work this way and you got the ability for the full duration of 30 seconds, it would be way too powerful. Now let's talk about the bonuses you get. It seems to vary depending on what you've accomplished. Now I'm not going to list them all, but here's a few. So a normal kill gives you 100 points. With combat focus, you get a bonus of plus 100 for a total of 200 points. Destroying a Guardian nets you 125 points normally with a bonus of 100 for 225 points in total with combat focus. Getting a capture kill in domination is normally 200, but with the 100-point combat focus bonus, you get 300. Destroying a Wrap ship is normally 150 with a bonus of 100 for a 250 total. The Wraith is identical to the Wraps for a total of 250 points. Destroying a care package ship is normally 125 with a 100-point bonus for 225 total. Taking out a counter UAV is normally 100 with a bonus of 100 for a 200 total. This one's my favorite. A normal UAV destroyed is 75 points, but with the bonus of 100 you get 175 total. Capping an objective is normally 200 with a 100-point bonus for 300 total. For the scrawny things, a UAV assist is normally 10 with a mere bonus of 10 for 20 total. Getting a kill with a score streak is normally 15 points with a combat focus bonus of 10 for a total of 25. And lastly, killing an attacker or defender of an objective point is normally 125, but with a bonus of 100, you get 225 points. So as you can see from this list, some of them are more attractive options to achieve than others, which can help us determine when to correctly call in the support ability. Speaking of which, let's talk about that. We have a few options. Combat focus is best utilized when playing objective game modes. I wouldn't recommend it in TDM, but that doesn't mean it's not viable there. Objective game modes simply have more methods of receiving bonuses, which makes them more user-friendly. When playing objective modes such as domination, one solid strategy if you know for certain you're going to capture a flag unattested is to call it in right before you capture the flag. You're just going to waste the short duration of the ability if you call it in while you're capping the flag, so wait until just before you do. Remember, I said unattested for this scenario, meaning no enemies nearby. So conversely, right before you go into Leroy Jenkins mode and storm an unoccupied flag that has enemies lurking nearby, you could also activate it. This is a calculated risk. You could fail miserably and lose the ability. Or you could not only reap 300 points per kill times however many enemies you manage to pick off, but also receive 300 points for capping the flag. This is well worth the risk, in my opinion. If you're not near any objective and you know there's enemies nearby, you can also call it in at that point. You don't necessarily have to be near an objective to make this work. Remember, you get 200 points per kill with it active. So if you see a few of your teammates nearby drop dead, power up the ability and go avenge your lost comrades. One thing I can't stress enough, hoard your score streaks until you get this ability. For example, if you have, say, a UAV and a lightning strike, or another such non-controllable streak, don't use those until you obtain your combat focus. Then activate the streaks and immediately use the ability, and then patrol for kills as normal. That way you achieve the additional bonuses for whatever assists and score streak kills you may get. Last, but certainly not least, the safest and in my opinion, the best way to utilize the combat focus is by destroying streaks. As I mentioned earlier, you get a whopping 175 points per UAV destroyed, and as we all know, UAV spam is prevalent. Use this to your advantage. However, be smart about it. What I mean is, don't use your combat focus ability and then shoot down UAVs. Instead, lock onto the UAV, shoot the rocket, and then call in the combat focus before the rocket hits. Remember, this streak is extremely short in duration, so you don't want to waste even a second of its usefulness. So if you couple some of these methods together, you can see how this can become an extremely powerful ability. If you play round-based games, I suggest holding on to your ability until the start of a new round. You know for sure that people are hoarding all kinds of streaks at the turn of the new round. So utilize this to your advantage. Wait until they spam their streaks and then pounce on the golden opportunity. And again, if you yourself have streaks, don't forget to call those in first to get the maximum benefit from your ability. Once you get the hang of when to call it in, you can become a combat focus master. I find myself assessing situations with lightning fast response times, sometimes even being able to call in the ability mid-gunfight to achieve additional score streak points. Of course, it's not always all smiles and sunshine. I have no doubt you'll biff it with this ability from time to time. It's unavoidable. For example, the situation looks good, you call it in, and then you die, with no benefit whatsoever. It's bound to happen a few times here and there, so don't be discouraged. Lastly, let's do a class setup to take full advantage of this excellent support ability. For a weapon, I recommend an SMG, but really anything will do. Personally, I like the Razorback. For attachments, I always use 3. Quick Draw, Extended Mags, and utilizing the primary gunfighter, Fast Mags. Again though, this is up to you. For a secondary, I absolutely recommend a launcher. And with that, you have 2 choices. The XM53, which has 2 rockets and can free fire or lock onto streaks, or the Black Cell, which has a whopping 4 rockets, but is streaks only. Either works, but I favor the Black Cell. For perks, you need to go all out on helping you obtain score streaks faster. That's the entire point of this ability. With that said, in Tier 1, you need Overclock. This will allow you to get the combat focus ability faster. In Tier 2, you need the Anti-Up perk, which starts you every life with plus 100 points to your score streaks. For Perk 3, Engineer. This is essential for spotting easy to shoot down streaks like UAVs, which not only allows you to get your ability faster, but provides an ample amount of points once the ability is activated. So that'll leave you with 1 point left. You can either take an optic sight, a tactical, or a lethal grenade. I use the Trip Mine personally. And that rounds out this hybrid class, mixing a slaying potential with anti-air support. For score streaks, I recommend the UAV and the care package for sure. Remember, the Engineer perk allows you to re-roll the care package, so you could potentially get something extremely good. The last streak is up to you. Now I suggest a low to mid-tier streak, just to ensure you'll get it. My favorite is the Hellstorm or the Talon. That's not to say you can't equip something higher up like the Hater or the Raps, but just know that you will likely not achieve it with a single use of the combat focus ability. And that, as they say, is that. This awe-inspiring specialist ability is ideal for earning score streaks a lot faster and easier. Use the methods I've outlined to know when exactly to call in the ability to achieve its full potential. If everything falls into place, you could potentially earn all your score streaks instantly. Or if you're running higher up streaks, you'll be that much closer to achieving them. I tend to call this class that I outline my anti-tryhard class. If I go up against a group of 6 people or enemies that are extremely good and have the ability to hinder me from getting score streaks, I'll utilize the tactics outlined in this video to help me achieve my own score streaks and turn the tide of the battle. Seraph appears to be a combat genius, and you can be too, provided you use her ability wisely.